Good morning, everyone. Thanks for joining us this morning. So excited to see you all. I'll ask, are you ready? Forgive my English. Let me see some thumbs up. All right. Carolina, Mariana, we see you. We're just giving a few minutes for folks to join in and we'll get started. In the meantime, I see you all have your names up. Feel free to add what organization you're from. We'd love to know who's in the room. Which nonprofit friends are here. People couldn't believe what I've become. Revolutionaries wait for my head on a silver plate, just a puppet on a list. All right, folks, let's get started. We've got almost 25 people in the room. That's awesome. Given the rough weather that we've had last night, how did everybody sleep? How's everyone doing? Hurricanes are no fun, but we're lucky that this one didn't come in too hard. Good, Carolina. Thumbs up. Thanks for sharing that. Good, Angelica. Awesome. All right, folks, let's get started because I'm really excited to invite you all to this session and check in on you and see if you're ready for Give Miami Day, which is happening next week. So the countdown has officially begun. Early giving is on Monday, and then the official Give Miami Day is on Thursday. So we've been having a lot of these sessions. This is session number 8, and it's our very last one before we kick off Give Miami Day week. And we've been going through this course of like all of these months, just getting ready for Give Miami Day and together in that too. So I'm glad to have you all in the room and to be able to start the day off, get really productive, get our teams honed in on the goal and rock it this year. So as you may know, I see a lot of familiar faces in here, but I see some new ones too. We at Radical Partners have teamed up with the Miami Foundation to offer these 3 months of capacity and community building as we lead up to Give Miami Day, which is sponsored by Amazon this year. They're offering not just a ton of awesome benefits for Give Miami Day and for fundraising, but also being really supportive of the nonprofit ecosystem here in Miami. So before we get started, you all know that we love our norms over here at Radical Partners, and those are all in an effort to make sure that we keep this space really safe and really open for sharing. We love to make these sessions really interactive, and we'd love to hear from everybody in the room. So you can bet that you'll have an opportunity to say something or learn something during this 1 hour that we have together. So that's the primary thing. You know, we love to give folks the floor and to share and feel really comfortable doing that. So if you find yourself off of mute and we're starting to hear some background noise, please make sure that you have that mute button on, and we'll definitely encourage you to turn it off so that you can share. The other thing is we're in this realm of Zoom where things can be a little wonky sometimes. So we thank you for your understanding in advance if maybe like that mute button does go off, or if my internet goes down or Beth's internet goes down. Yeah, just know that we're all here. We'll get it situated and we'll get right back on track. So with that said, I will move us right along and let you know that today we're talking all about tips and pep talks to get you ready for Give Miami Day. I'm doing this warm welcome right now, but we're always going to make time to meet your community so that you have one-on-one time with folks to chat and learn about each other in a different way. And then we're going to dive in right into the content. and we'll discuss the whole Give Miami Day capacity building arc. So a lot of the sessions that you may or may not have taken part of, you'll get like a super great recap from all of the folks in the room today. Then we're going to hone in on what this week and next week is going to look like. So we've got a checklist going for you to make sure that you're hitting all of those spots and that you're right on track. And lastly, we always leave time for Q&A, but this time it's going to be more of a discussion around what you need to be successful for this next week. And so we'll make sure that you have everything that you need, whether you were able to check in on office hours with us or not. This is a great opportunity to just discuss among ourselves, check in on each other, and see what you need. And then, of course, at the end, I'll wrap up with what's next. We know that Give Miami Day is next week, but we have a couple of things that you all can tap into to make it all the more better. Good. So you all may know Molly. Molly O'Doherty is on the call with us right now, and she has been your registration support since day one, once we launched Give Miami Day over at the Miami Foundation. So she's here on the call and here to answer any questions that you might have about the platform or in the different prizes and things like that. I'm here to be your strategic support. Have been happy to meet many of you one-on-one and throughout all of these gatherings. I'm here to make sure that you have set your team up for success, that you're leveraging the power of your board, and that you are ready to meet your goal with your fundraising strategies. And over the course of like the last 7 sessions, we've brought on topic experts that are actually leaders just like you. They have been leaders of nonprofits or supporters, grant writers, and they've all shared their knowledge and expertise among all of us. So know that we're all here to learn and we're all here to teach, because we have so much experience in the work that we do that we definitely want to hand the mic over to you and learn something from you. So with that said, I'm going to move us into our icebreaker. So this one's a little bit different. We're going to divide into breakout rooms in pairs so that you can get to know one another a little bit deeper. But I'm going to share some instructions first. So the nature of our work always forces us to constantly ask, why? Why are we doing this? Why is it important? Why does the solution solve the problem? Why does it matter? But today I want to flip it on you, and I want you to keep being asked the question, what do you want? What do you want? And we're going to repeat that for 90 seconds. One person is going to ask the other, what is it that you want? And eventually you'll see that you're going to end up unlocking a lot of really deep needs and wants that is going to inspire you to just keep moving forward. So Parvati on the call is helping us build out these breakout rooms. So to make it easy for you to decide who's going to go first, because that's always a debate, I'm going to ask that the person with the longest hair among the two of you is the first person that asks, what do you want, to the other person? Okay. So I see a lot of nods, I see a lot of smiles. I know you all are ready for this. It's going to be a challenge, but it's going to be fun, I promise. And I'm excited to hear a couple of those deep needs and wants once we come back. You'll see we've got 90 seconds. So you'll see a message go up saying that it's time to switch. And then you'll also see the countdown timer that is going to zoom you back into this main room when you've got a minute left. So that's when you know that time is winding down. So we'll see you in about 3 minutes right here. If you're ready, P, let's open the breakout rooms. Yes, I see some folks starting to join in. Would love to hear about how the conversation went. Was it weird asking somebody, what do you want, for the first time, somebody that you may not know too well or at all, and start unlocking all of those things?
I can go.
Yeah.
So I think the question, what do you want? It kind of makes you reveal, like, what do you fear is gonna happen? From my point of view, because I do the communications and social media for Clio, what I want to know is more clarity as far as tackling the early giving days, because it sounds like an internal project, but it's also external because you need your audience to support. Uh, so I'm just curious about what's everyone doing for the early giving days. What is their take on it? Is it more internal and let it just happen, or are they pushing for something specific?
Mm-hmm. Got it. I'm writing that down as one of the key things that we should discuss once we get to that part of the discussion of what we need to be successful. But I'm definitely making note. And I'd love to hear from one or two other people in the room about how this conversation went with your partners.
Good morning. My name is Kisa Montgomery. I'm hailing from Miami-Dade County, of course. Recapturing the Vision is the organization that I am employed by. I had an interesting conversation with Rosa. She's a part of NAMI, National Alliance for Mental Illness. I actually had personal questions and she gave me a lot of information. She seems enthused and passionate about what she does. It was a pleasure speaking with her, and I'm gonna actually go to their website and look at some of the support groups they offer and things like that.
Awesome. I love these connections being made. Anyone else want to share how that went? Thank you, Kesa, for sharing.
No problem. Thank you for the opportunity.
Of course.
I'll share.
Yeah,
thank you, Kesa. I have to say thank you for such kind words. I appreciate it. It was a pleasure to meet you too. I love this exercise. And then we get to know each other. So I asked her what she wanted, and we talk about unrestricted funds, right? They work with children, and I think it's beautiful that they want to be able to take them on trip fields and things like that. And sometimes, grants are amazing, but sometimes they're, you have to like go through all this process to get that. So with this is their first year participating in
Hi,
Miami
this
Day.
is Erica.
So I think it's great that they're able to do that and be a part of Give Miami Day. I was sharing with her how exciting it is to work together with so many amazing nonprofits, and how the Miami Foundation gets better every year. I don't know how you guys do it, but every year it's better. The webinars are better, bigger, and more exciting. So thank you for having me.
Cool, thank you. I love that you two had that experience together, and thank you also so much for the kind words. It is a true honor to be able to support nonprofits across Miami that are involved in Give Miami Day. Awesome. Cool, folks. I'm going to move us along because I know you all have a lot of questions, a lot of things that you want to go over. The exciting thing is that we'll get to co-build this session together and leverage each other for the tips and pep talks that we're looking for. So just to give you a quick recap, this Give Miami Day capacity building journey, whether you've joined us for the first time today or whether you've joined us over the last couple of sessions, this all was an effort to gather fellow nonprofits involved in fundraising on Give Miami Day, to share information, to share the knowledge, to share the strategies, and ask a lot of the common questions to make us run a successful fundraiser. So we've been gathering among these fellow nonprofits and topic experts, and like I was sharing earlier, really leveraging that knowledge. The folks that have facilitated some of these sessions are leaders that are just like you, that really wanted to share their experience and their strategies. So these have been a blend of community gatherings, much like today's is, and mastermind sessions that are around very focused topics, and add-on workshops like the media training one that we had. In addition, you've all been able to leverage some campaign resources that have sort of risen out of these sessions, because we're seeing that there's common questions or common resources that folks need, whether that's for social media text or graphics, or fundraising strategies. And then also we've, between Molly and I, have offered these tailored one-on-one registration and strategic support office hours, where we've been able to sort of dig a little bit deeper on the strategies or on the registration experiences of your organizations and your teams. So thanks for taking us on all of that. And I'm going to hand the mic over to everyone in the room, really, to start sharing what are the big takeaways that have come out of the sessions that we've hosted. I'd also love to hear from folks who may not have attended these sessions, what the first thing is that they think of when they see these topics. We'll start with one and then we'll move to 2, 3. We've got 7 in total. And I'm just excited to hear what strategies you all have implemented and what big learnings you've achieved. So I'm going to step out of this presentation mode and we're actually going to build this together and we'll share it with everyone so that you can have access to these for next year too. So if I start with when we kicked off Give Miami Day season, what is it that you were hungry for when you were first starting, when you were filling out the registration? What was going through your mind then? Feel free to go off of mute and we'll sort of try to moderate. If we hear somebody sharing something, we'll make sure that everybody gets a chance. I'm ready to type. I'm here taking notes. So whoever wants to share first. What were you hungry for when you first registered for Give Miami Day?
When I registered, this is Kisa. My thoughts were, like Rosa said, the unrestricted funds, grants limit what you can do, and having those unrestricted funds will allow us to do more with less red tape, so to speak.
Oh yes, we're all a fan of those unrestricted funds. They allow us to do so much over the course of the year.
Correct.
To play and learn and collaborate.
I think, you know, as first timer, I needed clarity and guidance, kind of make things simple for me so I can understand. So, and I think you guys did an amazing job with that.
Thank you so much, Juliana. I really appreciate that. And yeah, we heard a lot of feedback last year to make it easy and digestible to register for Give Miami Day and make it successful. So I'm really glad that you had that experience. Thank you for sharing. All right, folks, I'm going for an average 3 bullet points per session. So you all know
making lots of funds to do the projects we want to do in our community.
Mm-hmm. And to do that, you have to tap into a lot of people, a lot of marketing, make sure that you're accessing new and old donors too. So we'll definitely get into that.
Yeah.
Proper awareness and marketing techniques.
We'll deep dive into that one too. So now that we're starting to go into each of these topics, and Kimberly, I'll definitely loop back with you on that and see what you've learned. Let's talk about these fundraising strategies. Are there any new skills that you've implemented? Has something that you've implemented before really worked and you're just continuing to do that thing? Yeah, Connie, let's hear it. Oh, let's unmute you so we can hear you.
Do we have power hours this year?
We do not. We
don't. Okay. Wow, because that's something I did. I did that for my organization and for another group I give to. So I love to give to the Miami Book Fair, you know, for example, and that really helped to bring in funds. So we do have match minutes on certain things. Is that correct?
Molly, I'll hand the mic over to you so you can share a quick recap of the benefits.
This power hours, that was so valuable. How come we don't have that? That was amazing.
Hi. So sorry, I was trying to unmute myself. So we heard a lot of feedback about power hours last year.
Yeah.
It was about like the timing. Sometimes there was a dissatisfaction with like that afternoon slot when everybody's in the car going home, or like the ones that are, you know, open during the early hours of the morning when some people are not awake. So in lieu of power hours, what we've done, and I dropped in the chat a link that explains, and Rebecca probably does a much lovelier job than I do at explaining all of the benefits. So we have created pools of money based on primary issue areas that we are fundraising for throughout the day. So we have been fundraising and will continue fundraising for all of those pots of money. And at the end of all of it, we will be giving you a percentage match. It's not a one-to-one match, but it'll be a nice little bonus on top of any of the dollars you raised. And your bonus will depend on the dollars you raise and the dollars we raise.
Is that based on large, medium, small nonprofits? Is that what that one is?
I think that they're taking into consideration not only the funds that you raise, but also the size of your organization.
Right, so that's the one, because I really looked through everything to find what I was searching for last night. Okay, so, and the match minutes, you know, they have certain things like that.
So I don't think we have any match minutes.
Yeah,
We have prizes. We have those bonus dollars
Okay.
based on your primary issue area. And then the other really exciting thing that we have as a benefit of participating in Give Miami Day is we had a really generous and humble anonymous donor. The family donated $1 million.
whoa,
So what we will be doing with that money is we'll match the first $25 of every donation that you get
wow,
up to $1,000. So in order to like get your $1,000 match, you will need to have 40 unique donors
Right.
to get that $1,000 match.
You've got this.
Yes.
You've got this. Between the email messages and newsletters, texting folks, your social media, we know that you can get to that 40.
thank
Awesome.
you.
Thank you. Thanks, Connie. Anyone else leveraging a fun
I have a
fundraising
question.
here? Oh, go ahead, Carolina. Yeah.
When reading through the prices, the word unique stood out to us. What do you mean by unique donors?
It means that you have to have unique donors. Like if I donated to your organization 3 times, I would only count as one donor.
Okay,
So it
okay.
needs to be a different person for each of those donations.
Okay, thank you for the clarification.
Yep.
Yeah.
No worries.
You can base that on the names, the emails as well, because it'll ask you for the emails. Amazing. I know there's a lot of art organizations that leverage fun fundraising strategies when it comes to either getting support from families. Actually, this goes for a lot of different nonprofits, whether education, environment, leveraging their constituents or their board members to fundraise for them. What fun things are you all up to?
Since this is our first time, I was thinking about getting the CEOs, like her, the email contact, because she has a lot, and do like a major email blast to like everyone on her contact list. And I thought that would pull in a nice amount of donors. If not everyone gives something, at least even if half, it should be a great turnout.
Amazing. So not just your constituents, but also the personal networks and the professional networks that you're seeing.
Correct.
That's awesome. I bet that you'll very easily get to the 40 with that. Oops, folks. Okay, one more cool fundraising strategy that we haven't heard of that you all are either excited or scared to implement. Everything goes.
I can go.
Yeah, let's hear Angelica.
I think that text messaging can be very helpful. I have actually been trying to find the best platform to use for that. It took me a long time to try to decide because there's so many options out there. But finally, I landed on one that seems really good. And I think that just sending out a text message is just so easy for people to they're always on their phone. So if they click on the link and you provide that, hoping that it's going to be very helpful. This is something that we didn't do last year and the years prior to that. We send one more like, oh, click this number to receive notifications, but it's like an extra step. This is just a text message period. People can, say, okay, unsubscribing or whatever, but for some people, it might just be what they need to donate right away. So yeah, I'm excited for that and we'll see how that goes.
That's awesome. Have you been able to identify the platform that you'll be using?
Yes, so it's called, let me share that. I actually met with them yesterday because I wanted for them to explain to me. It's called Call Hub. And you just put fonts. I'm gonna add it on the chat. And if you go on their site, what you do is you just add funds and they charge you per text message, but it's a very little amount. So for like 1,000 text messages, it's like $30. And then if they receive it, they charge you another fee, but overall is like $50 for a whole blast that you can send like once a day. So, and then they just charge you per use. It's not like a subscription or anything. So I thought that was really helpful.
Very cool. Yeah, that's such a great strategy because you target folks with, not target, but you build those relationships with folks with a very direct call to action that makes it quick and sort of just gets everything else out of the way. Carolina, I also see that you're very excited about the hashtag Paint Miami Purple because it allows you to include your youth members, Glenn Cleo. Will you share a little bit more about that? That sounds fun.
Yeah, so we have a program that is, our strategies are called Gen Cleo, and they're part of high schools, they're part of the college and universities. So this is a really good way to get them involved, although they don't represent in that sense income or raising funds. Like we're not asking them for donations, we are asking them just to bring more awareness about the Give Miami Day. So I like that idea from the social media point of view to add volume and more presence. So we're very excited about that.
Very cool. Oh, I'm excited to see you all leveraging the prizes and the strategies that have come up this year. Okay, we started talking a little bit about emailing, social media, texting, but what have your digital strategies looked like more concretely?
Hi there.
Hi, Connie.
Hi. Well, at South Florida Writers Association, we love Facebook. So I have my own page. I have the South Florida Writers Association page, South Florida Writers Connections. So at least, you know, we're accomplishing two things. We're doing outreach for the group, for the Writers Association, and we're putting the word out for Give Miami Day. And I just have to go back and take out the power hours at 7 o'clock for arts and culture. And we should tell that to WDNA because I heard that on the air. And I thought, well, if they're 7 o'clock, then we're 7 o'clock, but you don't have it. So if you see anybody on the air, just talk to them. But anyway, question, issue areas. I just want a clarification on that one, because we could incorporate that into our digital strategy. So the prizes part.
Of course, Molly, I'll hand it over to you.
Sure. Do you have a question about a specific prize?
What you mean by issue areas specifically?
So when you selected, when you filled out your registration form, every organization selects a primary issue area category. That could be like arts, right, like arts and culture, animals, education. So it depending on that. And we have been raising pots of funds for each of those primary.
That's great. I get it. Okay. So for all of the areas, and that'll be based on what me and the other 300 arts and culture organizations. Now that makes sense. Okay.
Cool. That's also a pretty good fundraising strategy to leverage the issue areas. I've seen folks talk to funders who maybe don't want to give to just one organization, but they want their funds to be equally spread throughout all of the organizations that are involved in solving this problem. So that's a great strategy to send a donor that you talk to, and it's also a great community strategy, to be honest, because you're sharing the wealth of that one funder, your relationship with them, with other folks.
So on social media, you can say, we'll be receiving prizes based on donations raised as an arts and culture organization kind of thing.
Right. There will be additional dollars awarded on top of.
Oh, okay.
That, yes, is part of our bonus pool. Like for arts and culture is the bonus pool. We've been raising funds for that.
Got it.
Very cool. Kesa, I see that you're writing to me about receiving a link to send to donors via email. Is that the link to your page that you're referring to? Awesome.
Yes, ma'am. Because I think I received it before, but I tried to locate it again in my email and I couldn't.
If
So,
so, this is good for everyone. So if you forget what your login is and you don't feel like logging into your page to get your URL, you can always go to the givemiamidade.org site, go to find nonprofits, and just search for your organization in the bar, and it'll give you your, and once you click on your profile, you could just copy and paste that URL. Does that make sense?
And what time do we open up on Monday for giving, to start giving?
12
Midnight.
a.m.
What time?
12 a.m. Like as soon as it is the 14th, that donate button will be appearing. I don't know if anybody's going to be awake at that time, but you never know. You might have some
Okay.
donors that are early people.
And it closes at midnight on the 17th.
Correct.
Okay.
And the early bird prize is Give Miami Day, or is it Monday at midnight?
So the early bird prize list, and it depends, like the rules are up there about when those prizes are admitted, but early giving is the 14th through the 16th.
Right.
I have a question. We can keep adding things to our profile until Sunday, 11:30, 11:59
So
a.m. p.m.
once-
I mean.
Yes, so once early giving begins, so all the way through November 13th, you can make edits to your profile. But then once the 14th starts, the only thing you're going to be able to edit are your fundraising goals or your donor goals and things like that. So make sure that your profile is where you want it by this Sunday. And you can create champion pages, and people that want to support your organization can create champion pages all the way up until the end of early giving. So once
Okay. So the champion pages can go until Wednesday to be created.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Okay, but the profile, if I want to add videos or stuff, it has to be Sunday night at 11:59 p.m.
Yes.
right?
I mean,
Okay,
it doesn't,
thank-
you should do it before then, but yes, it'll be cut off.
Well, you know what I mean. Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
This is great, folks. I'm pulling some takeaways from your questions. So Molly, thank you so much for answering those questions. I've pulled a couple of things like activating your donors during early giving, and you can do that through social media or through your e-blasts, making sure that you're not letting folks know that you're fundraising on the 16th, but you can start doing that already today and make sure that they give on Monday. So a lot of donors are, I would say maybe like they have a lot of organizations that they want to do, or that means a lot of transactions, and you can ease them by spreading out that window for them and giving them the call to action. The other thing I learned from you all, that you should reflect your mission on your profile page. So Molly shared that we have a good bit of time into next week to update your profile page. And I believe, if I'm not mistaken, Molly, you can continue updating your goal, whether that's the monetary value to fundraise or the amount of donors that you seek to engage until just before Give Miami Day. And then the last thing is that you can leverage the champion pages. That is a huge digital strategy that engages your constituents or folks that are already supporters or that want to support your organization, and give them those mini goals to just add to the greater bucket. All right, I'm going to move to the next set. Angelica, I see that you have your hand raised. Do you have a question?
Just have a question. You can answer that later if you're gonna get to something like that. But if we have a couple of donors that reached out to us that they want to send us a check, we've told them, hey, this is an online fundraiser. Please, can we take your credit card information? But they just want to do a check. So what do you recommend in that case to do?
That is a good question. Molly, have you encountered?
Sorry, will you repeat the question?
So they've
That's
got,
okay. We have a couple of people that want to donate via check. we've told them that it's an online fundraiser. They just want to do a check. So what do you guys recommend to do when that happens?
Checks, yeah, we cannot process checks through the Give Miami Day website. We do accept credit cards, Apple Pay, Google Pay. And I think there is an option for banking information to be entered to wire the money like with a bank account. But yeah, we cannot process or accept checks through the Give Miami Day website.
Yeah, but you can still accept it. Let them send it to you. It's part of your fundraising day. You might not get the bonus, but don't turn it away. Say, yeah.
Oh no, for
send
sure
me,
we're not
send
turning
me,
it
send
away.
me.
Absolutely. I'm just like, I always think about loopholes, but I don't know what would be appropriate. So I'm gonna throw some horrible ideas out there and see if it's legitimate or not. I wonder if you're able to access the check and have it in an account and then make that as a donation from that account to your organization.
Electronic funds transfer, it's the same thing as a check. It's just electronic. So if they can do that through, you know, the profile page, that would be the way to do it.
Right, yeah.
Let's see. You can also ask for permission to fill out that information on their behalf. Like if they trust you and they've already given you a check which has their accounting and routing number on it, maybe you can be on the phone with them while you're typing it away and then share the confirmation with them and then just void the check afterwards. Okay, I'm gonna move us along because we've got 15 minutes of pep talks left, and I definitely want to hear some of those pep talks. We're sharing a lot of tips, but I want to balance the scale. So we had a session about elevating your mission through media. For those of you who wanted to join, it was an add-on, but it allowed us to sort of like prepare ourselves and empower ourselves to have those conversations with media sources, whether we were invited for an interview, or if you're attending mission control and there's a media person there and you wanted to just jump up and get an interview. So have you all experienced something like that before? Are you all leveraging the media for Give Miami Day? Somebody mentioned something about radio, television. Okay, I'm gathering that maybe media isn't the strong suit, but I do know that a lot of you are leveraging the digital strategies. So a couple of the things here that are helpful that I've learned from the session that I would love to share with you all is that come the opportunity to do an interview or to have an article written about you or be on the radio or be on television. It's important to be super concise and give folks that call to action right when they need it. Because when we share information for just a little bit too long, we start to lose people. So make sure that you're leveraging your power punch, what the mission of your organization is, and what you can achieve, sharing the impact, like what you want to achieve with the funds that folks are sending you. So short, concise, and call to action. What about your board's fundraising power? Curious to know how you all are leveraging your boards, whether they are a fundraising board or the kind of board that you can ask them to execute on tasks and leverage their networks.
I'll share. We ask our board members, each one of them, to reach at least 10 donors. So we gave them an example of a letter as the first ask, and then some talking points for a second ask. And we asked them to identify 10 people professionally or their family and friends that will be part of the list that they're going to create to reach out and follow through with, you know, one ask and then another ask. And we also asked them, whoever had social media, to also share. We gave them a sample social media post and a couple of badges to use. So we asked them, we did that for them, so they don't have that amount of work and they can just plug in and out. So we did that for our board members.
That's amazing. Yeah, make it easy on them. That really goes a long way. Just making it very quick, concise, and friendly options. And Angelica, I see that all of your board members have become champions, and they're recruiting more champions as well. And they're sharing to their contacts via email and social media. That's great. To have more and more champion pages, because it's just like an exponential growth of supporters that can go from there. Ayari, I see that you asked your board for a specific ask and to share it with their networks from your digital toolbox. They all agreed to meet the minimum. That's amazing. Congratulations. You all will hit your goal so quickly with that.
I will ask my board for South Florida writers to consider giving a donation if they can, and to ask anybody, along with myself, to post a champion page. You have to have a little bit of a presence on the profile page. It really makes a difference. So if I can get one other person to do a champion page, that would be really great.
Yeah,
So,
really. So great of you to give those different options too, right? Because they can give a donation and be done, or they can leverage the networks if they're more of a people person and they like making the asks.
yeah.
Kind of like a friendly competition.
And to emphasize what $25 means, where else can you be a philanthropist at $25?
That's true.
I mean, that's pretty amazing that we're not asking the earth, and it really will make a difference for us because of the bonus dollars. That's something to really emphasize. So it's a win-win. And it's tax deductible. We have to really put that out there too.
Yes, that's right. That's a really great line, Connie. Be a philanthropist with $25.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Awesome, folks. We're almost all the way through. We've got loving your donors and champions and setting your team up for success are the final two topics that we wanted to get all of your tips about. So in talking about your board and how you're engaging them on fundraising for your organization, how are you going to love on them after? How are you going to say thank you? How are you going to do that during to give them the motivation to meet their goal? What does the love language look like for your organization?
We're gonna send a text message right away when they donate, and then we're gonna send them a letter through mail. Probably, yeah. Mm-hmm.
That's awesome, Juliana. And what does the letter entail versus the text message? Because I imagine the text message can be very quick, concise. Maybe you have some pre-written texts that your team can copy and paste into text messages. And then what thought do you put into the letter afterwards?
We want to do something like handwritten, so it's not going to be extensive either, but really trying to personalize it, be more personal, sharing, how their contribution can impact and help us accomplish the mission of serving family in crisis in Miami. Yeah, so I guess that's it.
Way to go. I can see it now, just like a team gathering after Give Miami Day where everybody's got pens and papers and you're just writing those thank you cards together.
Yeah.
That sounds like a lot of fun. Practicing penmanship these days in the digital world. All right, any other love languages? We've got text messages, handwritten letters. I've seen some art organizations sharing like quick drawings or sketches to thank folks. So then they get like this really nice, unique piece of art from the organization. Awesome. So for those of you who have big teams, small teams, whether your team looks like your family and friends, your board, what have you done to set them up for success? How are they supporting you? Give Miami Day fundraising is tough to do alone, that's for sure. Maybe you've got somebody posting on social media or rallying your board, drafting those messages.
I think that Andreina sharing and being very upbeat and like celebratory, right? Like we're doing it, we're here, a couple of days away, doing that countdown and that energy going, and make it fun. I think especially, acting silly and celebrating and planning how we're going to celebrate throughout the day. So that's what we've been doing.
I love that. Yeah, it's definitely meant to be a fun day, that's for sure. Shared wins. Joanne, go for it. I see your hand raised.
I just want to add real quick that we take roles and responsibilities very seriously in our team, right? So during our team meeting on Monday, we will be reminding everybody that Give Miami Day week is here. And even though we have very particular tasks and roles for people, we focus on that, but we also focus on like, what is your responsibility, right? In our case, for Mission Control Center, is Andreina's responsibility to take care of all of you nonprofits, which means that if there's any problem or anything that they need to troubleshoot, she's the one, right? Parvati could then be in charge of check-in. Like no matter the role that you have in your organization, you should feel ownership over a very particular thing, because it's a very crazy and intense day. So we not only worry about the tasks, but we give that decision-making power to whomever is doing X, Y, Z, so that we don't stress each other out, but we actually just take the matter in our own hands day off.
Thank you so much, Joanne. Yes, we are ready to rock it. And seeing the time, I'm going to move us along.
Last question.
Yeah, go for it, Connie.
What are good hashtags for social media, for example, Facebook? And what is Paint Miami Purple? Is that Give Miami Day or something else?
So I will take a stab at this one. Hi.
Okay.
Okay, so we do have an entire social media toolkit in multiple languages. And I think that, and I'll drop the link in here in just a second.
Yeah.
But they have listings of like examples of hashtags you can use and, make it your own. So it has some suggestions and some templates in there. So I'm happy to drop that into the chat.
Okay.
And then the other question is about painting Miami purple.
Yeah.
So there are a number of different interpretations we could go with this one, mostly just wanting to spread the word about Give Miami Day and generosity around the city. But also something that's kind of exciting is we've been in contact with lots of little different buildings around the city that are going to turn purple for Give Miami Day.
That's great.
So yeah, that's really exciting. I actually think that, I don't know if we have a prize associated with it, but yes, there's going to be buildings across Miami that are turning on purple lights for us and spread awareness of the day. So that's
maybe
awesome.
the Freedom Tower. That would be nice.
Yes, I think Freedom Tower is on our list.
Good. Oh, that's wonderful.
Yeah,
that's so fun. Yeah, I've seen many buildings in downtown already turn purple, Miami-Dade College included, where we'll be hosting Mission Control, and hopefully
great
to have you all there. Yeah, good, folks. So I'm gonna continue moving us along. We've had the opportunity to ask a lot of questions, and so know that we'll stay a little bit after the call to finalize any questions that you all have. You started asking about early Give Miami days. I haven't forgotten that point, and so we'll definitely move back on that. But this is the week before Give Miami Day, and so I wanted to share this checklist with you all. In terms of social media, which I know that you all are very active in, just amp up the posting. Don't be scared to post several times a day, several times a week. You wanna play with that algorithm and make sure that folks are seeing your posts. And make your profile pictures and headers purple. Let everybody know that you're participating in Give Miami Day. The more purple, the better, because folks begin to associate the two things. And don't forget to follow and share the hashtag Give Miami Day content, because there may be funders looking into those Give Miami Day hashtag pools and seeing who they want to support. And you can tap into some really great new donors and build relationships there. Speaking of donor relationships, you want to keep making those targeted phone calls, send the emails, send the texts, just let folks think of you first. When Give Miami Day comes, they know I want to give to that organization. And then lastly, as we were talking about team, empower them, share the role reminders as Joanne was sharing, have a quick huddle and talk about what that day is going to look like to mentally prepare folks and to give them ownership of their responsibilities to make quick decisions without looping in a lot of other team members. And finalize the day of logistics. Where are you going to be? Do you want to be co-working? Are you going to do this all virtually? Will you join us at Mission Control? Those are all fun things to coordinate before the week comes so that you all feel at ease and can focus on what matters, which is your fundraising for that time. Good. And then fast forward, Give Miami Week is there. So starting on Monday, you can start accepting donations already. So Monday, right when it starts at 12 a.m. Don't forget to redirect your website donation link to the Give Miami Day page, because that'll be a good opportunity if folks access your website through Facebook or something, they can just go straight to Give Miami Day. Less clicking means more funds. So keep that in mind. And kick off your campaign with a bang. You can ask a couple donations to be made right on November 17th so that you can have that pool growing and just start Give Miami Day already way ahead. When it comes to communications, schedule those email blasts and social media posts, because you're going to be doing a lot of texting, a lot of thinking that day, maybe a lot of collaborating with other organizations. And the last thing you want to think about is like crossing the T's and dotting the I's on the email that you want to send, and then you end up sending it maybe a little bit too late. So get that out of the way and just keep your mind at ease the day of. Keep engaging with posts on hashtag Give Miami Day. That is the go-to hashtag, but of course you can be as creative as you like. And when Give Miami Day comes, share the updates of you and how you're reaching your goal. What is your team up to that day? Maybe you want to get a couple of videos and tag the supporters, tag the organizations or the leaders that have given to you, that you're really great friends with and you want to continue building that relationship. In terms of donors, keep contacting your supporters with that call to action. If you know that you've been talking to them and they haven't given, call them. Maybe you know that they're planning on giving because they shared a pledge with you, or you want to remind them that you want to access specific prizes. So make sure to monitor as those come in and send thank yous all throughout. I love the recommendation to make the day really fun. So make that happen by centralizing the roles, make sure that all of the Give Miami Day related emails are coming to one person and they can delegate out. So you have that role clarity. Share the action plan with your team as we discussed. And when the day comes, check in on folks. Delegate as much as you can so that you can be the calming force among your team and check in on folks, see how they're doing, see if anybody needs a special push. And then lastly, I encourage you all, today is the last day to sign up to join the Mission Control Center with our teams at Radical Partners and at the Miami Foundation. You can do that by scanning this QR code if you haven't signed up yet. Basically, we want to make this day go really smoothly for you all so that you don't have to think about getting breakfast, lunch, or dinner for your teams. You can have a moment of relaxation because you know you very well deserve it. Take advantage of some meditation, yoga, massages. We'll also have folks in the room who are there ready to help you, volunteers really, who can help you post messages on Facebook or on social media, or start handwriting those letters for you. This is going to take place both in person and online. We'll be at the Miami-Dade College Wolfson campus in downtown, and it'll be a huge room ready. You can join us at any hours between 9 to 12, 12 to 2, 2 to 4, and then later for a happy hour that kicks off from 6 to 8. We'll have music, we'll have celebration, and we want to do it all with you. Thank you for letting us show up for you in this way and to treat you to just a really fun Give Miami Day. If you have an event going on, besides that, and you're hosting a fundraising event, or maybe you're hosting a public gathering, feel free to tell us about that too, because we want to share that information with the community and make sure that folks show up for you and that they're seeing that you're fundraising. So we want to send more potential donors your way. The Miami Foundation team is also doing a community tour, so they would love to know that you're hosting something so they can possibly stop by. But in any case, we definitely want to put your event on blast. Lastly, although we'll stay for a couple of minutes, I know that we're a little bit over, but we would love to learn how not just this session, but all the other sessions before have gone for you, so that we can keep building this up and making these sessions really interactive and really engaging, and so that we can continue building the community among our nonprofit ecosystem. So you'll see a poll pop up, some brief, quick questions. As you're answering, feel free to go through it. I'll play some music, and we'll stick around a little bit later if you want to join us for the after party to ask a couple of those questions. We can start off with that early giving days conversation about the internal and external strategies that I know someone asked in the room. So with that, I'm really grateful to you all for joining us. I hope you feel fueled and ready and excited for Give Miami Day that's coming up next Thursday. And just thank you again so much for joining us and really for allowing us to support you and to show up for you.